Check 1 2 1 2. Pels are here. What's going on, y'all? We're gonna hit that stay for the night because I am remembering my boy Parris, and it's like this. Where can I find it at? 1 2 3, boom. That's it.
I want you to stay with me.
Y'all see what it is. It's my dude. Rock out with me if you feel like it.
I want you to walk with me. I want you to walk with me. 'Cause I've been searching for so long.
Richard, what's going on, bro? Woo! That's how I remember my boys. Woo!
I want you to talk.
Woo! Blake.
Talk with me. I want you to talk.
April 24th.
Talk with me. I want you to stay. Stay with me. I want you to stay.
Woo! Somebody hashtag Parris Bowens. Where Lawrence at? Where's Priscilla at? Where's Greg at? Yo. 4. Come on, holla if you watching. Don't just look at me. Say what's up. Say goodnight. Say something. Let me know you rocking out. Show me the dance emoji. Oh. Inspiration. Anybody want to join Richard over there on the other side? He's on YouTube. That's on the combos. That's your link right there. Exactly right, bro. Woo. Shifted. Woo. John, I see you, bro. Song just rocks, y'all. Woo. Yeah. Stay with me. I need you. Oh. Oh. Yo. From me. Yo. This is just a little tribute to my homie, the late Parris Bowens, right? So let's give a hand clap of praises, we would say in church, for the life and legacy of Parris Bowens. I know we don't all grieve the same way. We don't weep like those who have no hope. That is a reality, but this song just super like rocks out for me. and that's one of the best, most memorable songs that I know of Paris. And that stay. It's ironic that that's one of my favorite songs from him out of all the stuff I heard him play. Just the groove of that, and I never forget him saying, "Hey, big bro, tell me what you think. Are you feeling that joint?" And when I got it, I was just like, "Yo, dude, you killed this right here," because it was the most simplest but still dopest thing that I heard him do. And it was just a blessing to hear it. And so I was actually going back and forth with Lawrence earlier, Lawrence, Paris's brother, and I just asked him, on behalf of the family, was it cool if I celebrated, bro? And I think that this is kind of funny, but I would almost like say this would be like a dope, like in the musician community, of Parris Bowens Day. And out of all the days that people have with stuff, and it's like, it's this day, that day, this day, maybe we could have like, special day for, people that we celebrate. You got the Biggies and the Tupacs and all and celebrities, but then there's people that are like celebrities in our corner, but then they're not celebrities because they're so close to us. And, it's like they're here today and they're going tomorrow. And it's like, how do we celebrate them? And people are still grieving. And for most of us in the music community, it's kind of like, yo, you can't believe this guy is gone. You have many names. I can't even begin to start naming people in whether it's gospel music or whether it's just secular entertainment that, beyond the artists, you have musicians that, we had drummers that never got to the level that we just seen them going, keyboard players, guitar players, what have you, instrumentalists, like, and so we have our stage of grieving. But another thing, sidebar, to anybody that's watching, just say what's up if you're there. I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to, this is just how I let out with technology, because the material I'm about to play, it's only because I took the time and we had Smurf and Parris on at the same time in 2021, the same year that my boy Parris passed away. And it's totally unexpected, but it happened. And here we are today. It's 2 years, going, and I still don't have my bro. And nobody's really hurting harder than his brother. Shout out to Lawrence Bowens, Greg, and Priscilla. Nobody's probably hurt more than them. But, listen, we have a song that I like to sing. I'm just a stranger here traveling through. And because we do realize that we're strangers and, we're traveling through, that means that, just as we're here right now, we may not be here. And so you take these moments in time, celebrate one another, you try to love as best you can. We're not feeling each other, you go your way, I go mine, pray for one another. And I think that's what we really can do. So without further ado, what's going on? Without further ado, I'm going to take and I'm going to drop this one clip because it's real quick. And this is a celebration for musicians that know. This is like crazy because Parris would come to my church, right? And when he would play, like, no song that one way, he would make something else happen with it. Now, it's a little busy on here. It may sound a little, because Trey's on the drums. There's Trey Lambert, then there's Sandra's son Trey, then there's Trevion. And so he was on the drums and Ray is on the bass. Ray plays guitar, organ, whatever, but Ray's on the bass and Parris is on the organ. I'm directing the choir and we're doing Any Way You Bless Me, I'll Be Satisfied. And I used to love jamming that song because these are like my studio guys, but we're in church, we're giving God the glory, but the creativity that you could just get, and me being a musician and the director at the time and a creative, we were able to pull off some crazy stuff like this. So I'm going to drop a new scene right here. And I'm going to drop something on the screen. Hope y'all like it. Just listen to this real quick. Turn your headphones up and just listen how this dude executed these chords. It's going to gonna come in at the end. Just take a listen. Pay attention to the chords. My goodness. I know it's hard to hear, but I am trying to find the audio from that Sunday. The way this guy just hit that any way you bless me. And when I say we used to groove, it was just kind of high in praise. And so Trey's going animal on the drums, you know, Ray's just like hitting this. Michael, you feel me, bro? The way he did that, it's like he's hitting that boo doo 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 woo doo doo. And it's like the other musicians are looking like, yo, like, what are you playing? And this guy would do that every Sunday. This is something that I would love to push about creatives and in creativity. This kid would do that every Sunday. And it's crazy because we live amongst so many geniuses, but it helped. People like Parris help to remind you about your fingerprint. And when you really are tapped into your fingerprint and who you are called and created to be, you actually maximize in every moment. And he would dig in and not really care about the paper, not care about, the money, the whole night. It would just be that zone. And you got to appreciate people like that, right? So, but that's one of the things. At the end of that, I really want to take and make a track off of that about how he did that progression. And I'm really waiting on a musician, somebody to get me that groove, because I really don't know what that ham sandwich he was playing. Mike, you absolutely right. With a straight face, right? With a straight face, he would just do that. So yeah, that's crazy. But look, I'm going to jump to this interview. And one of the things I'm going to drop in and move out the way is how what we can learn from a Parris is how he would actually celebrate other people. And you would be amazed to hear how he would talk about other musicians when you would bring them up. And he would actually have a conversation while he's playing chords that you're like, what the world are you playing? But he's like mimicking musicians that he likes or musicians that he loves their style. He would literally mimic them or play something that represents them while he's doing his dopeness at the same time. So check this piece out. And this is just a little short piece of how he celebrates Omar. So those of you who know Omar from Ford Memorial, he's out in LA just doing big things with Adam Blackstone, Brian Moore, all these people. Just check out this piece right here. And I think, yes, this is it right here. Okay.
Directly under him, and
oh my god,
they were at Access all the time, and they pretty much like, yo, Omar. See, Omar is another one you can't talk about. I can't
even get started. That dude
is a sleeper. Like most jokers that know Omar now,
good word.
Don't understand. Everybody that's seeing him on the big stages, they never really seen the real Omar, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like, you're seeing a professional Omar that's doing the job, that's killing. But if you never seen Omar on an organ,
yes,
Omar's organ game is probably second to Stephen Ford, my favorite organ game. Like,
whoa, did y'all hear that?
I've never heard a person with a level of sensibilities that he has on an organ. This man knows how to move a service with such a maturity, and he never overdoes it. I've never seen him play past what he's supposed to play. I've always seen him play exactly what's needed, and he can move a room and sense the spirit, bro. Like, that dude is one of the most, playing some hymns, and his taste is just ridiculous.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God!
Listen,
and then him and Jamar together. Oh, that's like
don't even say him. I got Jamar. Jamar's coming on next week. I just listened to that album, and I
Right.
promise you, I'm like,
Jesus.
that is my all year Charlie Brown Christmas album feel. You know how you wait till Christmas so you can hear bloom doom 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 bloom doom, and I go like riding out amongst trees and stuff, and I just play that. And when I want to feel that in the summertime, I feel kind of ridiculous playing the Charlie Brown Christmas album in the summertime. But once I heard that album, the Sunday morning joint, I'm
my
like,
God.
I am freaking done. I'm never hearing them hymns the way I used to hear them. Like, it's a whole nother alternative. I was in this room dancing like, did these Negroes just play this song like this? So Jamar is another sleeper, but here's the funny
oh my
thing.
God.
But y'all two, the funny thing about y'all two is y'all got character. So like Omar and June. Like Omar and June are like Kaiser Sose and Mr. Kobayashi. If y'all, Parris, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know.
The
I know
usual
what you're talking about.
suspects.
Usual suspects.
They like Kobayashi and what's name? Because it's like it's Kevin Spacey and my man in the car at the end where you like.
Oh
This
my
dude,
God.
oh man.
Right. It's a twist.
They exist, but they don't. They exist, but they don't. You kind of like, who? You kind of looking like my man in Django. You looking like Samuel
Yeah.
Jackson. Like who is the Negro on the organ? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, who is this guy that's playing? I'm with Robert. He said, the Biz. He said I used to
Biz,
just
yes.
listen to Omar play. Like we had our favorite guys. There was like, oh, Parris is here. Oh, Smurf is here. Oh, so-and-so is here. And then it's just like, you kind of forget the dopeness of a June. You know what I'm
Yeah, oh
saying?
my
Until
God.
he starts doing something, then you forget. You like James is Uncle James.
Oh my.
Listen, it could go on and on. It's amazing how when you listen to this guy, he would really like big up other people. And the whole time you're still looking like, I'm listening to Parris Bowens talk about other musicians, and he himself is somebody that people would try to study. And we're still studying him, right? And he's not here anymore, but we're still studying him. So I just got footage after footage of some of the stuff that I would hear him say. Shout out to Smurf. Smurf was on that broadcast with us, and we had a wonderful time. We talked off camera about a lot of stuff, and I just want to encourage everybody about precious memories and to deal with them and how they linger, right? And how they ever flood our souls. Before I get into this other piece, I think it's very good because on my IG, Lynn Brown, my buddy Lynn Brown, he confirmed what Amanda was saying about when Parris talks about in this next clip how he had Warren Campbell, Teddy Riley there, Kim Burrell, you name all these people, Donnie McClurkin, and Ty, shout out to Ty Trivet, who's killing it on a tour by himself and packing out venues. And I hear it's a wonderful experience. Shout out to my brother Hayward Hamilton, who I seen dancing on stage with Ty. Only Hayward can hang with him and do something like that, right? Shout out to my brother Bishop Hayward Hamilton. But what's crazy is the Ty Trivet that I know, that I would be around and love just to see his creativity. It's amazing with his skill set how he just delegated to Parris to play this song at a recording, and it's because he trusted that he could handle it. It is some people's favorite song, and that night, that recording is like a super memorable moment. And we got confirmation that Teddy Riley and Guy, they couldn't get in. And so Lynn Brown, my buddy Lynn Brown, brought them there, and they had to get Amando to let them in, like, because the cops wouldn't even let him in. And so that night was just big. So the nervousness that this guy had just to play on a recording, to learn that stuff. Some of us, we can't even learn the song the whole week, but to get it at the last minute, here it is. I'll play the majority of the clip that you didn't see off of my small clip. And this is celebrating our boy Parris Bowens. Check it out.
My God.
Parris ain't never had no nervous moment, did you, Parris?
Victory. Yes.
Uh-oh, what happened in Paris?
I was pissing my pants.
What happened?
Victory was, first of all, we didn't know it was going to be that packed. In fact, you know how Deliverance, nobody packs Deliverance out. So
Right.
you know you're doing good at Deliverance if you got the bottom half. If the bottom section is filled, you're like, yo, we won.
Right.
So we get there, it's packed to capacity and 1,000 people outside. But what makes it worse is you got everybody who I look up to in the audience. Like Warren Campbell.
Oh,
You have Warren
yikes.
Campbell, Aaron Lindsay, Kim Burrell, Mary Hez, Donnie McClurkin. Then you look on the right, you got Teddy Riley, Damian Hall, Aaron Hall. Like, what in the world are they doing here?
Wow.
And what was worse was before, like Ty had been practicing for months. Who else but God? That was a Ty and choir moment. Ty decided that day, I'm not playing it. I'm not gonna put a piano on stage. Parris, you gotta play it. Like, wait, what you mean? Like, you gotta play it. So in Deliverance, I went back into like maybe about an hour or two before I go back into the choir room, get on the upright piano, and I'm sitting here trying to go through those changes. If you know anything about Who Else But God, it don't stay in one key.
Right.
It goes from A flat to C flat to C sharp, and then he do some weird moves in there, and then it starts dipping around in the whole step from that and moves around. Dog, I was in that back sweating bullets, like. And so when you watch the DVD, when we get to the whole recording, I'm good for the entire recording. The whole recording, my mind is literally thinking about how am I gonna play this song in front of all of these jokers, and I never played it, never did it with sound check. Never practiced it with the singers.
Right.
So when you watch the DVD, you see Ty directed me on that.
Wow.
That's the song where he's people think that's like a part of the show. Nah, he had to direct me because I didn't know it. So only thing I knew was the key changes. I knew what the key changes was. I just didn't know when to come into it. So he had to let me know on the spot. And that's before we had in-ears. That was when it was monitors. So you ain't had nobody in your ear telling you go to A flat, it was none of that. So he ruined my night because I was good for the whole recording.
He feel that in his soul. He feel it in his soul. Come on, sir. Come on.
Listen, I was prepared for the session. I was good. You got your regular jitters and nerves, but when you throw in a curveball like you're gonna play the piano song tonight, the Who Else But God, where it's just you and the vocals, and it's a sensitive joint. I'm not no Benjamin Love. I'm not on my Kevin Bond. I ain't have none of that. So I'll never forget, when I ain't gonna hold you, that night I was like, that was the whole point of the recording for me, was that song.
Wow.
Everything else I was good on. But then I never forget, Omar came to me years ago, and this meant a lot to me because he's my big brother. Omar was like, he's like, I'm listening to the Victory Live, and you get the Who Else But God. He said, the way you played that, John, he said, that was some grown man stuff. And he just gave me the biggest compliment. He was like, I didn't know you played piano like that, in that way.
Wow.
And I was like, dog, I said, I didn't get a chance I only got to play that song maybe 2 hours before learning it. So when you just learn a song, you ain't got no room to do a lot of extra stuff. You're just strictly about the music, like what that is. You're not going to do, I'm not doing the runs, you hear me doing all of that stuff on that record. Like, I was like, part of it was nerves though. It was like, how you overplay when you got nerves, and you do certain things, you got nerves. So that was like the most scariest moment of my career, because I'm looking at Warren Campbell, Aaron Lindsay, Teddy Riley. Not to mention, Ty would cuss me out if I wasn't playing it right. So
what? So
we got through that song, and I felt like I was good after we got through that song.
Oh my God. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I had to play that clip because this stuff is online and it sits there until you delete it. And so I'm happy to replay that, and so that you can hear some behind the scenes, some testimonies from the man Parris himself. I do want to say, leading up to that moment, I don't think we have footage of this, but that was around the time when his voice transitioned. And here's what I mean by this. And so if you're going night, go night. I'm about to get serious on something. His voice transitioned. And I remember Tamika Furby and a few others, they put together, musicians pray. And, you know, we were going into the Zoom and Parris had his moment. And this was leading up to the months before he passed away. And, a lot of pastors probably have the same testimony that I have, is that he was a deep talker. And so as intricate as his musician skills was and his gift, he would have conversations that would challenge you in your walk, even as a leader, because he didn't just play, get a check, and leave, but he would sit and talk and go into realms of conversation that sometimes you'd be like, dude, like, I just got finished preaching. You going way too far for me. And it wasn't abstract against the gospel or nothing. It was really in the faith that we say that we have. And so I'm appreciative of the fact of how, he would sit there and engage in conversation. I'm just going to put some bed music on here, but how he would engage in conversation and talk. And so while he would, talk, he would bring up things. And as he was bringing up stuff, he started getting more into evangelistical conversation. And what we realized today is that music has continued. People are now getting their turn. Things are finally moving in direction that people that have been patient and developed skills, people that we didn't know how great they were. If you listen to what Parris just said, how Omar said to him, dude, that's some grown man stuff. I didn't know you played the piano like that. There are people you around right now that have that what their skill set is, where their talent is, but you still may not have realized that in something that we know that they already know, there's another part to them that's even greater than what you already know. And this is why our interaction with one another really matters, because you never know the moment that you're sharing in the moment. And so I shout out and salute everyone who's handled our brother in such a way, not knowing that we wouldn't have him with us today, but that can be a stencil to understand how we cannot take one another for granted and to cherish the moments that we have. And to his lovely wife and their 2 children, keep them in prayer. And into the Bowens family, just keep them in prayer. I know Lawrence is over at Dare to Imagine, crushing on Sundays. It's something about that Bowens family that they really get into what they're doing. I believe Greg is with Pastor Eric Mason. Our sister Priscilla, she moved down south, I believe. And, to what everybody's doing, let's just keep it up. I'm just here. I just threw this together real quick because I didn't want to let the day go by without celebrating my boy. It is the 12 o'clock hour. I'm about to get off and we have pushed into another day. It gives me another thing to talk about before I hit the button and I'm out is, y'all pray for me. I'm just not a heavenly birthday person. And I want to say to everybody, I'm not knocking it, and I'm just going to give my conviction on it. My conviction on it is to be absent from the body is present with the Lord. And I'm thinking about the book of Revelation where it says no more. And no more is kind of like, I know birthdays, but when you get down to it, my father's birthday would be today. He would have been 77 years old. And so my celebration for my dad is to take the memories that I have, and I remember it's his birthday, but I just don't have this look up and say, well, happy birthday where you are now. For me, it doesn't even matter, because every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. That's just a theological space that I'm in, that I don't knock how everybody else looks at it. But to those of you who reached out, thank you. I'm fine. That's just me. I deal with what we have here, and I love people how I can love them while they're living, so that when they're gone, I don't have to process too much of anything. All right. So I'll talk about that later, but I'm leaving out on Stay because that song was just on my heart. And I hope you all have a good night. So let's go back to my music bed. I'm going to launch this and I'm going to pop it off and we going. Kevin, I want to get started. Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, I'm with you on that. It is a hard theological position to be on, because I do want to say I do understand it. Hey, I'll let the music play a little bit more. It's because I do understand it, right? And I had to. It's amazing. It's funny, Kevin, you just triggered me. It's amazing because I'm only speaking from the angle of people that are hurt in that thought pattern when you realize that they have not exercised or explored the freedom area of it. And so there's a way that we celebrate birthdays of those who pass. But what we want to be cognizant of and aware is don't trap the space that they're in, especially those that we have our core full belief that they're absent from the body, present with the Lord. Let their present be the present that doesn't need the birthday shout out, in a sense, where its memories are every day. So we don't wait a year to celebrate a birthday that is no more, because when we look at the dash and we look at the beginning and we look at the end. So Keith Pelzer was born in 1971 on August 29th. So when the Lord calls me home and that dash has a number on the other side, there's the day that I've passed. So like yesterday, April 24th is the day I remember that Parris left us, right? And so I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember the day in August that my dad left me, more so than just birthday wise. I'm gonna remember it's his birthday, but you know, I'm not thinking you're gonna have candles and cake and stuff like that in heaven. I'm like, yo, you there, you know, present with the Lord. Enjoy every day I can think of. Enjoy, because it's not even a day, it's forever. And so I think it's just transitioning to the forever mindset. And that's why I said I have full respect for even my siblings, my family, whoever else that, you know, they take that, you know, oh, happy heavenly birthday, you know, and I'm like, I get it. But it's like, to me, that puts us into aging people, where it's like, when my dad left there, you know, it's like he wasn't 77 years old. So I'm like, what is he in a wheelchair now? Like, no, it's like, you know, we say I'm gonna put on my robe, tell the story how I made it over. I should wear a crown, you know, and, you know, as soon as I get home, you know, trouble no more. People that pass away from struggle and pain, you know, we're not going up in age, like we stop. And so our birthday on earth don't matter, because technically, watch this here, before you come out of your mother's womb, that mother has dealt with you for 9 months. And so when you celebrate life, right, watch how awesome God is. When you celebrate life, you actually don't know where to start it from. It would be better if you got conception confirmation rather than birth confirmation. Watch this here in the physical, because once they see that heartbeat, once they see on that gram thing, y'all know what I'm talking about, once they see on there and they show there's a baby in that womb, life is already there, right? Life is already there. So technically we're like 9 months late on the dash in the beginning, actual date, whatever, because life was already felt. I'm going somewhere with this. So it basically helps people to look beyond. Corinthia, I hope you feel me. I was trying not to do this. I'm blaming it on Kevin. Love you, bro. But it's like, say what we want to say, right? Feel how we want to feel, but stretch your mind. Listen, I gotta pull the music back a little bit. In our pulpits today, we have the Bible and people that believe in the word of God, the 66 books we have, if you're Catholic, 72. Watch what I'm about to say. You have preachers and leaders that are stretching the ham sandwich out of simple text that we've known for years. I mean, stretch your mind into realms and dimensions just off of the woman at the well, realms and dimensions of just Peter walking out on the water. Stretching us, but we almost refuse to stretch into understanding God's ways are above our ways, his thoughts are above our thoughts. And we take time where we mark stuff, we put a marker on it, but we don't have to make ourselves mask up into the markers. And so what I mean by that is the markers of, oh, this is the day that I was born. Got it. But how about emphasize that you're born again? that emphasis does a lot more. And I'm saying this to the people that don't weep like those who have no hope. People are suffering that don't have hope, where we can't see life. And so we get so wrapped up in the dying rather than the life. Okay, rather than the life. And so I'll expand on that later. And that's just a perspective. Again, I'm not out here challenging somebody's theology on that. I'm just giving a perspective, because at the end of the day, by the time that baby is born, after the 9 months or whatever you have that the woman has carried the baby, life has already existed, right? And so by the time you come out of that womb, we mark that as your birth date in the physical. But honestly, in the physical, you were already alive and well before the day that you came out of the womb. You done been to the mall, you done been to Target, you done been to Walmart, you done been to church 1,000 times. Y'all see where I'm going? You done been all over the planet, right? And then you're born, and then you're physically out of the womb, eyes open, ears that can hear, outside of the surroundings in your mother's womb, and now you're living. And then when you get caught, then you're born again in this life, right? And then when you're born again, we kind of forget that and don't celebrate. Well, this is when they got saved. And then after that, when you pass away, we can remember this is the day that you left this place and you entered into a place of no more. Catch what I just said, a place of no more. So I remember, right? I remember that this is your birthday. I remember April 24th is my father's birthday, but the emphasis is more so the life that he lived. I remember Parris's birthday, but I remember more so that this is when the Lord called him home. And so that's a day of memorial that we remember. We remember the day that Martin Luther King got shot and killed. We remember certain things, but we put more emphasis on his dying than we put on his birthday. Let that sink in. We put more emphasis on Malcolm X's dying rather than his birthday. So think about that. We pick and choose in a responsible way according to how we feel. I get it, but stretch ourselves to see things in a broader sense. All right. That was touchy, but I'm sorry. I'm leaving out on stay, and I'm going night. All right, getting back to my pictures. People, love y'all, and I'll be back more often, okay? But here it is, stay. How do you ironically write a song that say stay? I love it. If you didn't get the single, you want to be supportive to Parris's family, his wife and his 2 children, go ahead and download this song. All right. Rudy. I want you to stay. Shauna, what's going on, girl? Corinthia, good night. Walk with me. Woo. I love it. I want you to walk. Can y'all hear it? What'd you say? You said that's my joint, right, girl? You for granted. And I can't afford to lose you. My love, I want you to talk with me. I want you to talk. Yeah. Talk with me. I want you to stay. Stay with me. I want you to stay. Parris could sing, boy. Sing, boy. Watch this. Woo. Are you feeling that, girl? You feeling? camera. You talking about this one? Yes, my inspiration. I got it dark. I gotta bring it up. Watch that guitar when it come in. Shift. Woo. It got that groove. Woo. Watch the church chorus, girl. Who's like, woo. Stay with me. I need you. Nope, I didn't do this. This is Parris Bowens. It's on iTunes. Good night, y'all. I'm out.